Hello, good afternoon. You are welcome to this channel once again. NESA National 5 Days Workshop, the national workshop. And on this channel, we've been talking about the introduction to Aspen ICT, the basics. I'm Ira Steven by name. Once again, you are welcome. So, let's move on from where we stopped yesterday. Uh, Aspen ICs. Yesterday I taught you how to add a stream, specify a stream. We worked on pump and also a compressor yesterday, isn't it? So today, before we go further, there is something I would like us to do first. Now, from my Aspen ICs, how do you save? Now, this is where we stopped yesterday. So, how are you supposed to save and how are you supposed to do all that? So, that is what I'll be talking to you on right now very quickly. So every simulation analysis they are called a case. So we don't call them simulation, we don't call them that, we call them case. That is what we call them. So whatever you are after a simulation, when you want to save it, you save it as a case, like probably case 1, case 2, and all that. So of course, you just have to come to your home, your file of course, and then you can then save, or you can use the normal shift control S to save. And when you save as what? Case, case. Don't forget that you save as case. So where we stopped yesterday, we stopped on that compressor whereby we added the inlet stream from the pump to that of the compressor, and then it was established that it won't work although you have the result, because pump deals with liquid whereas compressor deals with gas. So how do you now make that work? Now let me show you a function on Aspen ICs today whereby we call it the break function, whereby you can break a stream. We don't delete streams under Aspen ICs, we break the stream. So now let's look at this water too. That's the outlet from the pump that enters into the compressor. So I will break it. How do you do that? When you come to your flow sheet and modify, you see where they wrote auto position all, break connection, swap connection. So I will click on break connection, then I will drag my cursor to the line, to the stream of that line, and then you see a mark on it. Whenever you see that mark, it means you can break that stream. So I will hit OK and then I'll break the stream. So you can see that the stream has been broken. You get that? So what I have to do is to do what? Create another inlet stream, a gas inlet stream that will make the compressor to work well. But you should remember from the onset, it was only water that we picked as our what component, only water, and water is not a gas. So how do you do that? You come back to where you have say property simulation, and then you go back to what? Properties, in order to do what? Add another component. Not just another component, a gas component. So from there you can now go back to your component list 1. That's where you added water. So you find it here, water. So then under that water, let me use methane as my gas. Methane. And then you do what? You find it there, then you add it to your system. Now, when you add it to your system, you've added it. The next thing is to go back to your simulation environment, isn't it? Now, when you hit your button of simulation environment, it brings up what? Do you wish to be left in loading mode when entering the interactive simulation environment? What that means is that, do you want the holding mode? The holding mode is like, do you want to stop your flash calculation, whereby everything you do regarding this methane that you just had, do you want it to be ignored or do you want it to be relevant? So when you say yes, it means everything you do regarding the methane will not be calculated. But when you hit no, it means okay, you want the methane to be calculated. You want to have the calculations for methane also on your system. So you do what? Hit the no button and then it takes you to the simulation environment. Do you get that? So from there you hit on your compressor. Let's specify it. When you double click on it, you go back to your design and then you select the inlet stream as what? Methane. Don't forget, sorry about that. Coming. So what do? You know you have to create a material stream. material stream representing what? Methane. Don't forget that. So let's select it, the material stream, give it the name, go to the composition as I taught you yesterday, and then you'll find the methane under your composition. Then you give it only methane because we are dealing with only gas. So methane will be what? 1. That's 100%. Then you do what? Now you don't need water in your compressor. So what do? Instead of inputting 0, you can just click on the normalize button below. You'll find the normalize button below. Just hit normalize. It will turn it to 0. Then you hit OK. Now you are done with that. Now let's still go back to condition. Let's just random temperature and pressure. Let's say 100 degrees as our temperature, and our pressure let's use 25, 26 bar. Let's use 26 bar. And under the flow rate, our molar flow of course, let's use 100 kilogram mole per hour. Now that stream is fully specified. Now when you are done with that, you can see that the material stream now, of course, let's give it the name methane also. Let's give it the name methane. And then let's come back here. Now you can see the name methane is there. So let's go back to our compressor in order to add the inlet stream as methane. So how do you do that? Just double click on your compressor and then select the inlet stream as what? Methane, and then your system converges. I hope that was right. Do we all get that? Now you can see that your compressor has what? A black borderline that denotes what? Your system is okay. So try and practice that, and that's all about pump and compressor. So let's move on to what we have today. Today we'll be talking about heat exchanger. Heat exchanger. That's what we'll be talking about today. We'll be talking about heat exchanger. That's what we are doing today. So we have a question here. Under this topic, I'll be teaching you how to model an heat exchanger. I'm sure you know what an heat exchanger does, right? So I'll be telling you how to model an heat exchanger. So we have a question here that says hot water at 250 degrees C and 1000 psig is used to heat a cold stream of water in a shell and tube heat exchanger. The inlet temperature and pressure of the cold stream is 25 degrees C and 130 psig respectively. The outlet temperature of the cold stream and hot streams are 150 degrees C and 190 degrees C respectively. If the flow rate of the hot stream is 100 kg per hour, determine the flow rate of the cold stream passing through the exchanger. Now, from the data we have here, we will notice the flow rate we are given as a unit of what? Kilogram per hour. That's what? Mass flow and not molar flow. Take note of that. That's mass flow and not molar flow. And then during the first class, I give an example. Okay, an assignment regarding what's the difference between PSIG and PSIE. I hope you've done that. So let's go to our simulation environment and let's model this heat exchanger. Let's model it. Now let's create a new case, of course. Control N to create a new one. Control N. So heat exchanger. Now from our question, look at it very well. How many components do we have? I'm pretty sure some of you will probably say you have hot water and cold water, but they are both water. So you have just one. There's no difference between hot water and cold water. Only the temperatures are different. They are both water. So your components comprise of what? Only water. So water is the only component you have. You get that? So let's go to our simulation environment, our ICs, and then we add the components. Of course, I've shown you how to do that. Add your components as only water, so water. So once you add it to your system, of course, the next thing that is under our message bar says what? Select property package, and then you remember how to do that. So under our question, it's okay. Oh, sorry. So under our question, well, it wasn't specified that we should use any property package. But since we are dealing with water, I mentioned it during the first class. That I know we are dealing with water. There's one particular field package that works for it, and that's your ICs. And that's your what? Pen Robinson. Under ICs, that's your Pen Robinson. It works for anything that relates to water. So what you need to do? Go and select water under your property package. So hit on the add button and then you do what? Select Peg Robinson. Peg Robinson. Now once you do that, you will find that the property panel here has turned to what? Green. That is, you can move on, you can proceed. Since the message bar is what? Empty, so you can proceed. So hit on the simulation environment button and then here we are at the simulation environment. So what are we dealing with? We are dealing with what? An heat exchanger. So we are trying to model what? An heat exchanger. So but take note, you have what? Water as the only component. Although for heat exchanger you have how many inlet streams? You have two. You have two. Okay, let's do it this way. Now, in order not to make it a big bugles for you, look for heat exchanger here, drag it to environment and then let's work with it. Heat exchanger. This is your heat exchanger. Hold it down, drag it here. Now look at the symbol. It has what? A round shape, right? But I'm very sure most of you the heat exchanger you are conversant with is more like a rectangle kind of. So how do you do that? You can do it by right clicking on your shape and then you have this list that now the last thing you have there you find what? Change icon. Change icon, that is you can change the icon. You have about four of it on ICs. You have four different icons on ICs, that is you can then select whichever one you want to use. So let's select this one. I think this one is more, people are more familiar with this one. Yes, let's use this one. Let's use this one. So under this one, now let's look at it. You have four actually. So how do you know? When you double click on it, of course you have the tube and the shell. Do we get that? You have the tube and the shell, the tube and the shell. Do we get that? You have the tube and the shell. So which one goes through the tube? Which one goes through the shell? Will the hot water go through the tube or the cold water? That's the question. Now for the tube, the cold water will pass through the tube, whereas for the shell, the hot water will pass through it. According to our question, says what? Hot water at this temperature is used to heat a cold water. And I'm sure you know heat exchanger is about what? Transfer of heat, isn't it? So from this question now look at it. Let's go to our ICs and then try and separate the, what do I call it? Both this and this. Now look at it. Okay. Sorry, please hold on a little bit. So yeah. Now look at what you have here. Yeah, this one. You have what? The tube side. And I said earlier that the code will enter it. So let's just name it from here. You have what? Code. Code in. Oh, sorry. You have what? Code in. Enter. Then what will come out of it? Let's just give it code out. Let's not try and convince ourselves. Let's say code out. Enter. And then the shell side, let's call it what? Hot in. Hot in. And then what will come out? Let's call it hot out. Let's say hot out. Are you with me? Now let's close this page and then talk about what we have here. Now look at, okay, sorry. Now look at it. You can see that you have two inlet streams and what? Two outlet streams, isn't it? And this is your heat exchanger right here. So what do you need to do? You need to specify all the parameters you've been given according to your question. Whereby you specify everything before you can then move on to it. So let's go back to our question and see what we have and what we do not have. So okay. So from the question you have what? Hot water at what? 250 degrees C temperature and 1000 psig. So let's go to our ICs again. Let's go to ICs. How do you do that? Hot water, right? This is your hot water. When you double click on it, what do you have? So your hot water is right there, and the question says what? At what? Your question says hot water at 250 degrees C and 1000 psig. So let's go to our question. Yes. Okay. 250 degrees C, 250 degrees C, and what? 1000 psig. And then psig. Okay, this is right there. Are you there? Now, what you have was unknown composition here. What do you think will be the composition? If you are dealing with water, then your only composition is what? Water. That is, your composition is what? 1. So let's go to our composition and add 1 as our composition. 1. You have what? 1. Hit okay. Now it says what? Unknown flow rate. Unknown flow rate. So let's go to our question and see what is our flow rate. That's the question. You know we are dealing with the oil stream right now. So look at that place. It says what? If the flow rate of the oil stream is what? 100 kilogram per hour. 100 kilogram per hour. So moving on with that, what do you have next? It says 100 kilogram per hour. So let's go back there. 100. Now look at it. Oh, it is what? Mass flow and not molar flow this time around. Kilogram per hour. That is 100 kilogram per hour. When you hit enter, the stream is now what? Fully specified. Now you can see the oil stream is what? Fully specified. Now the next thing is what? If you are doing anything in inlet stream, you have to specify it, of course. But you can either do it separately or you can do it from your what? Your heat exchanger directly. How do you do that? Let me show you how you do that one. Let me show you how you do it. Hmm. Now, from this heat exchanger model, look at it very well. You have what? Design, rating, worksheet, performance, dynamics, rigorous, shell, and so. Now, go to your worksheet. You will find everything you have there. All the inlet streams and the outlet streams. Everything is there for you to look at it. I hope you have seen it. Now, look at it very well. You can see that the oil stream, we have the data already. But the cold stream, they are all empty, isn't it? They are all empty. So let's specify the cold stream also. Now, okay, okay, okay. Now, from the question, it says what? It says what? Uh, Read through it. The inlet temperature and pressure of the cold stream. Inlet temperature and pressure of the cold stream is what? 25 degrees C and what? 130 psi of the cold stream. We get that? Of the cold stream. So let's go to our IC's back and then do that. Of the cold stream is what? 25 degrees C and what? 25 degrees C and what? 130 psi. So how do you do that? You come back here and what? Input is 130 psi. One thirty psi. And then now look at it very well. What else do you need to do? You still need to input what? The flow rate, isn't it? You still need to input the flow rate. And then to do the flow rate, what do you need to do? You have the data already in your system, but you have to input it, isn't it? Now let's look at it very well. From our question, let's go back to our question. Let's go back to our question. Okay, look at it. Our question says what? The outlet temperature of the cold stream and hot stream. Outlet temperature of the cold and hot is what? 150 and 190 respectively. Outlet temperature of the cold stream. So let's go back to our system. Outlet temperature of the cold stream and hot stream is what? So outlet temperature of the cold stream is what? 150 degrees C and what? 190 degrees C. Sorry, I'm having a little bit of on 190 degrees C. Have you done that? Okay. So moving on now, look at it very well. What else do you need to do? You can see we don't have the prayer here, but when you go to your design, go back to your design, then go to your specs. This is where you make use of what? The degree of freedom. Aspen works with what? Degree of freedom. Works with degree of freedom. When this degree of freedom turns to 0, it means you only need to specify just one little thing and then your system will be solved. Now look at it, says what? Flow rate of the coding is empty, and you know that's what we are looking for. So in order to get that, let's go back to our connections and under parameters. Are you with me? You see where you have the specified period drop, which is 0 according to our question. So just input 0 under it for the shell and 2, and then your system will be solved. And that is majorly. Now it says what? Compositions unknown. Why is it saying that composition is unknown? Because we've done for water, but we've not done for the rest. Look at it. The coding what? Composition is what? Unknown. We only did for water, so you have to do the composition for both for it to be solved. Do we get it? And that is how you solve your heat exchanger. You can see the system is okay now, and that is all about heat exchanger model. So from there you can then go on and do what? Study your system and say, okay, what is the flow rate of the cold stream passing through this exchanger? And then you can then come here and say what? Let's close it. And then what do you have? Flow rate of the code. Look at it. You have what? 3.065 kilogram per hour. You get that? And that is how you do it. And then in the mass flow is what? 55.21 kilogram per hour. And that is how you model your heat exchanger. And then you have your heat exchanger over there. So that is how you do it. I hope you all got that. So that brings us to the end of today's class. See you next time. Same period, same channel. Thank you very much. I'm Ariel Steven by name once again. See you next class. Thank you very much.